Hey there, everybody. This is Ed, and welcome back to another edition of Bagel and Booze. We got another episode of crap I found in the back of my fridge. This is kind of because I really don't know when I got this beer. This beer, I think it's supposed to have been like a winter beer, a Christmas type of beer, but I honestly had this one well before this past winter, so I'm thinking this thing is over a year old. It fits in kind of with March. It's in the mint realm. Mint kind of goes with Shamrock Shakes in a roundabout way. Shamrock Shakes, St. Patrick's Day. I don't know. Work with me. It works in my mind. So we're going to find out if this beer is still any good. And I'm actually a little kind of later on this one. I don't know. You'll see when we bring it up. But before we do that, make sure you click on that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the latest beer reviews and whatnot. And let's get to it. So for this episode of crap I found in the back of my fridge, we dug way into the back while we were clearing out some space to make room for new brews, and we came across this. It's coming out from Lexington, Kentucky. Specifically, it's from Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company. They are purveyors of not only beer, which obviously we are reviewing, but they also distill out bourbon, Irish whiskey, and gin. From what I could tell, they got about 4 different liquors that they distill out. And what we're going to be sampling from them today, this is their Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Peppermint Porter. It's a mouthful and a little bit of a tongue twister. This brew clocks in at 8.2. It is obviously peppermint flavor in there. There's chocolate, and they age this in bourbon barrels. I'm going to assume they age this in their own bourbon barrels. I couldn't really find that out, but I'm going to deduce the fact that they're distilling bourbon. They're using their own barrels to age the beer in. We'll go with it. And they describe this one as having notes of bourbon, toffee with roasted malt, and obviously mint and chocolate. Should be interesting to see what comes through. I'm just hoping we're not getting a whole overload of mint. We'll get a nice blend because they kind of talk about that it is kind of a peppermint patty type of flavoring, and we get a nice blend of the chocolate and mint. Time will tell. No idea. But if you're curious as to what to pair this with, you pair it with many desserts. It seems to be what it goes with, of chocolate and creamy desserts, bread pudding, cheesecake, and they say it works out well for ice cream floats. So we'll see. We're going to give it the old sniff test, taste test, and obviously we're going to do the chug test. That's the part I'm worried about, is the chug test, is that we might get a whole overload of mint.
I drink and I know things.
So we got everything all poured out, and as we kind of would expect off of a porter, we got a nice big dark coloring. It's a little hard to kind of tell. Can't really, I guess we're kind of getting a very dark amber color from the bit at the bottom. Usually I can kind of see if we get more of a ruby coloring, but this one definitely is more in the brown side of things. I'm not good with my colors, so we're going to go and chalk it up that it is a nice dark brown amber type of coloring that's in with this. I didn't really, well, I guess I'm now getting some of that smell. I was expecting a little bit when I poured it out that we would kind of get hit with the mint, and I'm not really getting an over blast of it. I kind of figured that would. I'm definitely smelling that chocolate. It definitely has kind of a peppermint patty kind of smell to it. I was kind of expecting, they bill it as peppermint porter, that this thing would just be kind of just a blast of mint, and that's where it was kind of scaring me. But on this one, definitely no. You know, it smells, to me, it smells like a peppermint patty, smells like a thin mint. More like a peppermint patty, I guess, that has a little bit more of a stronger smell than a thin mint. So let's give it a taste test, and we'll figure out how it shapes up from a flavor profile tasting. So there's definitely a good bit of chocolate that's in there. There is a delayed aspect to the mint. I can kind of feel the cooling aspect to it that's in there, but it definitely has more of kind of a toasted chocolate flavoring. And then on the back side, there is a cooling mint. And even as I sit here and talk, I can kind of feel the coolness of the mint coming over. So it's kind of surprising. I guess that's kind of good. You don't want something that's just overpowering a mint. That would kind of, in my opinion, be a little bit disgusting. All in all, it does definitely shape up pretty well. It's a halfway decent balance between the two. I'll get one more kind of swig. And yeah, it's a little thin, kind of for my opinion. I guess I kind of expected want something a little heavier, a little more substance, but all in all, it's not too bad as far as a rating and connection with this. We'll give it a 3.5. We'll err on the side of caution. We'll give it a 4. We'll stick it at 3.5. As I continue to chomp down, it would kind of recommend back at a 4, but we'll kind of stick it at 3.5. It's decent. It's good. I guess it's not my forte. Peppermint beer. I guess when I've had other, chocolate mint beers, they're a little bit more full in flavor. This one's just a little thin, in my opinion. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong, but I guess looking for a little bit more of a full body characteristic to this one, comparing it back to stuff that I've had before. I guess the top one to kind of compare it, which was in the same thing of a chocolate mint bourbon age, was from Guinness, and that one was just a full bodied flavor profile that came through, and this one just lacking a little bit. Maybe we'll attribute it to the fact that it's been sitting in the fridge for a year. Maybe if I had drank this when I bought it, might be a little bit higher, but for right now, we'll stick it at 3.5. I guess there's only one thing left to do in connection with this, and we're going to find out if it will chug, so I need to top this back off, and we'll be right back. We got everything all topped off, and believe it or not, I actually had a second one of these sitting in the back of my fridge. I have no idea why. Again, like we said, this is crap I found in the back of my fridge. There's no dates on these things, so this one was sitting back there, and I will say, pouring it out, this one more so than the other one, there was not much head that came when pouring this out. It was a very tiny, thin amount, but it did not set up with any type of decent kind of head in the pour. So I guess, again, that attributes to it sitting around for a while. I don't know, maybe, at least in my opinion. So we got everything all topped off, so it's time to find out if it's going to chug. Bottoms up. No. This one will not chug. We only got halfway through on the pint, and I just could not get through the mint that was in there that was not as prominent. It definitely took over. It overshadowed the chocolate that we were getting before. The chocolate is now the second flavor on that, and this one was just pure mint. And unfortunately, there was no way to kind of polish that off. I could have maybe powered through, but it was not going to happen without things turning real bad real quick, I'm pretty sure. So we have one. We cannot chug it. The mint power just comes out of nowhere. And as anybody who's had a lot of mint, whether it's thin mints, peppermint patties, mint flavoring, what have you, it is a lot to take in. So there was no way we were going to finish this on the chug. So we already got it halfway through, so it's half chuggable. All in all, not too bad. Again, I don't think it's something that I would actively seek out. Obviously I can't do it right now, and I just came from the beer store and didn't see it out anywhere. So this definitely was a wintertime beer in my opinion. But I don't think it's something I would actively kind of seek out. Again, if it was there and somebody had it at a party or something, probably. But, something that I would just go and seek and purchase on my own, probably would not do it on a second thing. It's not too bad. In the scheme, I guess it's now the third chocolate type mint beer that we've done. I guess with this one, this is probably my least satisfying out of it. Again, the Guinness kind of set the bar for me. This one, while okay, not hating it, and I'm not loving it. So kind of why, we gave it the 3.5, borderline 4, but, all in all, it was good, just not spectacular. So with that, I'm done. We're done. This definitely is not done. I'm going to go finish it off camera, not chugging. But I thank you all for tuning in for another edition of Bagel and Booze, and we'll catch you later. Thank you.